Expect a 46% annual return from real estate, income property. Now, how is that possible? In this environment when mortgage rates are no longer low, wouldn't 46% have to entail some high-flying risk? Nope, not at all. Once you see this, it'll be hard for you to ever unsee it. Let's look at the simple math behind what drives your real estate investment return in a way that you've never seen before. In fact, watch the magic. It's so simple that you could do this very lucrative math on a napkin because it's really not magic. Hi, I'm Keith Weinhold, Get Rich Education founder, Forbes Real Estate Council member, and 20-year real estate investor. You think of me as a real estate guy, but in a sense, ironically, I dislike that really physical part of real estate. I mean, come on, what is there to like? Elements wear down the outside, and then inside the property, tenants might get difficult to manage. Rather, I like what real estate does for me. And once you see this, you'll have a better understanding of what real estate really does for you. So let's do it. Let me demystify real estate returns with a shorthand breakdown to your 46% annual return. As you know, if you followed me for any amount of time, expect to be paid up to 5 ways at the same time, 5 ways simultaneously. And this isn't for fix and flip property where you're using any kind of sweat equity. Yes, this is just with buy and hold investing. And here's the simplified method. Let's say that you make a $40,000 initial investment on a $200K property. All right, well, in just a year, the first way that you have a profit center is with appreciation, because your initial property value is $200K. The appreciation rate's 5% over time. The new property value after a year then is $210K. Your equity gain is $10K, and your ROI from this first of 5 ways you're paid is your $10,000 gain divided by your $40,000 initial investment times 100. That's 25%. And that's because you got a return on both your down payment and you got a return on the funds borrowed from the bank. That's not the bank's, that's yours. That's leverage. The second way is cash flow. If your rental income is $1,600 and your expenses are $1,500 a month, well, then your cash flow is the difference. $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. And your ROI here is your $1,200 gain, again, divided by that same $40K initial investment times 100. That's another 3% added on top of the 25% from the first one. Now, as I simply break this down, you might want to watch it straight through the first time, and then later you could go back and do the math yourself, which again is easy enough to do on a napkin. The third way is your ROA, your return on amortization. This is also known as principal paydown. Your property value had that $160K loan on it. An 8% interest rate is what we'll use on that $200K property. All right, well, your monthly principal reduction is $110 a month. Annually, that's $1,320, and your ROI is $1,320 divided by that same $40K initial investment, and that is another 3% return on top of the others. The fourth is your tax benefit. There's your property value of $200K. The building value is typically about $140K. Maybe the land is $60K. So the annual depreciation benefit is $5,000. And your tax savings, if you're in the 25% tax bracket, is $1,250 a year divided by your $40K initial investment. That is another 3% return on top of the others. We'll add it all up at the end. And then the fifth and final one is the inflation profiting on the debt. On your $160K loan, if there's a 3% inflation rate, well, your annual debt debasement benefit is $4,800 a year divided by that initial investment. That's another 12% return. Yes, that's right, inflation profiting on this fifth of 5, because just like inflation debases the purchasing power of your savings, which is bad, it debases the weight of your debt load, which is good, because each year with inflation, wages and salaries and prices and values and rents all escalate and spiral higher. All right, so here we go. Let's add up all of the ROIs from the 5 ways real estate pays, which is a phrase that I coined in 2015. And hey, as we're about to do that, go ahead and click a like on the video here if you like seeing the simplest breakdown of total real estate returns that you've probably ever seen before. Yeah, I just really love seeing the thumbs up. So we've got 25% plus 3% plus 3% plus 3% again, plus 12%. That is your 46% total ROI, and that's why I'm a real estate investor. And what did you think it was? So that I could replace toilet flappers and go spackle drywall? That's the stuff that I dislike since I'm not very good at it. And at a number of steps there, you'll notice that I was conservative or I rounded down. I used an 8% mortgage rate and 3% inflation. If mortgage rates are lower or inflation is higher, your total return would increase up from a 46% total ROI. And although there are many tax benefits, I only considered one here, tax depreciation, to underscore how conservative I was. See, all these numbers are realistic while paying a property manager. That's accounted for. All right, that is one of those $1,500 of monthly property expenses in step 2. Cash flow, I use property managers for all my properties in just this way. And of course, your real life numbers are going to be either better or worse than 46%. I'm just talking about something that could be expected here. And yes, we could get way more precise numbers if we attached like 20 spreadsheets and went through all of those, especially with the tax efficiencies part. I mean, if you do enough years of this and you can live the life you want, you might soon have hordes of people lurking in the viewers of your Instagram story about your latest month-long vacation in the Maldives. I also explain the 5 ways in a free mini video course, which you can get right here, where I break things down somewhat further. And the cool thing about real estate math is that this math is so simple. It's just addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And in all of my years in real estate, I've never had to do trigonometry or calculus or use exponents. It is really simple math, but it is just knowing what numbers to use. And if you're in a position to add rental property to your portfolio, we have made it easier than ever here. You can connect with the best nationwide property providers conducive to income property, real estate that pays 5 ways, just like you saw in this example. Yeah, if you haven't yet, just create one login, one time, and connect with all the providers at gremarketplace.com. Or if you're newer to real estate, and this is interesting, then it's probably better to connect with our free investment coaching, or even if you're not newer, and that's truly free. We're not trying to upsell you to some paid course or paid coaching later. We don't even offer paid things that way. Because of the strength of our GRE Marketplace network and relationships here, we have a new build provider offering a mortgage rate of investors to 5.75%. Yes, today. And yeah, they see that your rate is bought down to 5.75% in today's environment. And another new build investment provider, for example, is offering a rate buy down to 4.75%. That's in Florida. Yeah, you heard that right, 4.75. And we have another builder provider where our GRE investment coaches have been sharing with you a 2.99% seller financing option. I don't know how long all that can last. The 2.99 has a few caveats to it, but these builders are in business to move properties, so take advantage of it. Besides buying down your mortgage rate for you like that, some are even waiving their property management fee for you for the first year, and that's in addition to buying down the rate. So this can be a really good time for you to contact your GRE investment coach to connect you with those properties, and they help guide you through the process if you like. Whether you want to shop off-market property yourself or have the help of an investment coach, start at gremarketplace.com. I'm Keith Weinhold. I'll see you in the next video. You can watch this one next.